Years and years ago, in these Berkshire mountains, 9 Native American tribes lived peacefully. For years, they lived independently of one another, free of any problems. One season, however, a natural disaster occurred. A terrible famine permeated the land. Food was scarce, people began to die. Each of the tribes searched for a solution, but none was to be found. Every last bit of food was sought by the natives to keep their own tribe alive for one more season. The situation was dire. It became a struggle for survival. These 9 tribes who had lived peacefully for so many years together were now forced to compete with one another. Only the strongest would survive. Slowly, the 9 tribes became 8. Some tribes chose to move their people elsewhere, seeking better land and better life. Others decided to split up, fighting individually to survive. Only 2 tribes remained, the Shawnee and the Kiowa. Their love for the land was so strong and so persistent they could not bear to give up. Through the long, harsh, bitter cold winter, a deep rivalry began to develop between the 2 tribes. Every day was an eternity. The tribes have never before witnessed such hardship. They could only pray for the spring to arrive. Finally, the situation got so desperate that the 2 tribes knew something had to be done. The head chief from both the Shawnee and the Kiowa realized that the only solution was for the 2 tribes to overcome their differences and work together for the greater cause. The chiefs gathered their tribes around a campfire. But the chiefs were not the only tribe members seeking for a solution. One young woman was particularly concerned. Desperate to see the survival of her tribe, she ventured out into the land that she loved. As she stared into the stars, an idea came to her. Together at campfire, the tribes searched for an answer. Hours of debating passed. Finally, a small hand rose from among the many desperate faces. The young woman stood tall. She said that if the crops were planted in a pattern parallel to the stars, and with the seasonal shifts of the constellations, the crops were rotated throughout the land, perhaps the food would grow continuously and plentifully, just as the stars had shone consistently throughout time. For the first time in months, hope filled the eyes of the starving people, and a feeling of optimism penetrated their hearts. As one unit, the people grew together. With renewed strength, the Shawnee and the Kiowa worked together to rejuvenate themselves and replenish the land. They exchanged their once secretive methods of hunting, crop gathering, and fishing. Slowly but surely, the land became fertile once again, and the Shawnee and the Kiowa lived on. Today at Ramaka, we commemorate the strength and the will displayed by these 2 tribes. Ramaka will be divided into the Shawnee and the Kiowa. As the crops were rotated around the land, each one of you will move throughout camp. Each representing one of the tribe members, you will all work together to form one great relay. Starting with the youngest camper, the race will end with Romrek girls competing in a rope burning. The fire represents the struggle, and the burning of the rope is their conquering of the problem.